I'm Elizabeth Medina. I'm from the Pueblo of Zia, and I make traditional Zia pottery.
I'm Marcellus Medina from Zia Pueblo.
And we're a married couple, and we both work on pottery. We collaborate with the Zia potteries, and the process of making Zia pottery is gathering all the clays and the clay colors to to build the pot. So I go around the Pueblo of Zia and gather all my materials within the Pueblo. I gather the clay and the clay minerals like the red, the white, and the yellow to use the colors. And the clay, I don't travel too far, but it's up on a hill where we have to go up and down in the hill to get the clay. And once I get the clay, I soak it and I clean it and take all the impurities, try to take out all the impurities out. And then I gather the tempering, the rocks. And those are little pieces of rock that have been there for a long, long time. And when you pick those, they kind of crumble. And we grind those to a very fine powder. Then we swift them to get that uh, powder really fine, and then we mix the clay and that tempering together to get the clay to build the pot. And once I get the clay ready, then I build the pots and I hand coil them. I do small, medium, and large pieces, and after that, we put the white, the slip on like about several slips of it, and then we polish them to this smooth finish. And then also the red, we use it in a smooth clay where we just polish it also. And the designs, um, the this particular pot is done by Marcellus with all the different birds that he puts on there. And after we do all the pots and they're all finished and they're all um, fired outdoor in an open kiln with fire cedar wood and um, manure. So the finished piece will be after all the firing is done. And then once they cool up a little, after we take them off the firing, we wash them. Like we've created this pottery, and it's like a child that we've created. So we give them their first bath. And so once it's given its first bath, then it's sat there for someone out there. Our ancestors used to tell us that once you make a pot, it's always for someone. And sometimes this person, just falls in love with it and they'll purchase it. And then some of them take quite a while for this special person to come and claim this pot. So uh, there's a pot out there for everybody.
Since time immemorial, our ancestors have been producing pottery from the raw stages to what we see today. It's amazing of how our ancestors developed this process through trial and error. I'll explain the pot, the physical pot itself, what it means. Uh, the pottery itself is, uh, as we were taught by our grandmothers, ancestral grandmothers, is the Mother Earth. The bottom part is the ground. The middle part is Mother Earth with all her little babies and the plants around the pots, which we use as evidence of how our ancestors survived through their migration. The top part is the spirit or the cosmic, the heavens. We usually leave a space for the spirits to come through, but we only use that one for ceremonial pieces, ones that we do not sell. And there's in the past we have sold some, but this particular one doesn't have a space cut in the top. The opening represents who we are as a people. All nations, all races, everybody emerged from Mother Earth. We were giving birth to live in her world, in her environment. And this is where the opening is to where the cosmic and the heavens, where we all living in this fourth world, the dimension of the fourth. This is the reason our ancestors came up with the designs, and the white sleep symbolizes the holiness, the pureness of who we are in this environment, what we call Mother Earth. The red symbolizes as a people, my ancestors, my people came out of the Mother Earth from the ground. As they were coming out, the pigments on the wall of that emergence of the step ladder coming out, where the spirits of the animals dug the hole through the underworld to present day world. And that's where our ancestors, when they were coming out, their body was being robbed through the clays. And when they emerged out, they were all red. So that's what it symbolizes. And that's the reason we honor our ancestors in our past. The flowers represent the vegetation the first time when they came into this world, and the environment. And they saw all the vegetation, but they didn't know which one was edible and which ones were poisonous. So somebody had to first try and eat those plants. It was a decision made by tribal leaders, but at the same time, the spirits taught our people which are edible and which are poisonous. So that's how we came out with the design of my ancestors' grandmothers came out with the design of the spinach plant. And that's what our people survived on spinach plants and piñons and yacas and the bananas on the yacas and all these cedar trees, the berries and piñons and all these other vegetations were edible. And there was native sweet potatoes. We called them tiani, and they were really small. And those tianis have yellow flowers, and that's what our ancestors used in our designs, and we use that in our designs to this day. The swallowtail, we honor the swallowtail on our pottery because back in time, at the beginning of time immemorial, when our people started traveling and migrating throughout the world, Mother Earth, they saw the saints and the spirits and the gods took the ladies to the river, and the ladies were sitting at the river, and there were swallowtail birds flying down the river and picking up some clay and taking it back on the cliff. And spirits told our grandmothers, this is how you're going to make these pots. You just look and learn how those swallowtails are making their nest on the cliffs. So with that explanation, they were watching, and that's how they learned how to coil, the pottery, and we honor that for the swallowtail. So to this day, this pot is sitting here, present day, since time immemorial. All the designs are based on history of our people through experimental and courage and trying different ideas and different pathways. And then the other birds, the black paint on the birds, and they represent power, strength, and we call these birds the Zia bird. That's what it's known for. And we honored all the birds in this environment, what we call Mother Earth. We honor all of them. And not only that, but we honor all the, I'll turn the pot around and you can see there's a quail here. And the quail also has a history in Zia. The quail is the one that showed our ancestral grandmas and ancestral mothers and daughters how to take care of their babies. Mm-hmm. It's the little ones that are newborns that are born into this world, mothers give birth, and it's the quail that taught our people, the ladies, how to take care of the little children and bring them up as young good citizens of the Pueblo. So that's how each bird symbolizes something. In this particular design here, this design, we call them Punami design, the bird, Zia bird, Punami. Punami means west, from the west, and that's how our people came from the west. And the Punami design bird is what were produced back in 900 to 1100. From that time on, they were just basically stick designs. And the Punami designs came more elaborate because they were used in ceremonial designs, ceremonial pieces of pottery. From 1100 to about maybe 1300s, the style changed from that Punami design to the more modern Zia bird. From 14 to 15, 1600s, that's when the designs became more elaborate. And from 1500s to present day, this is what we see now. We do a lot of traditional bird designs, but we also, the concept of modernizing the birds has come into play to this day.